Hi, welcome to Teaching Moments. My name is Hillary. If you haven't seen my channel before, I'm a homeschooling mom with 4 children, and all of my children have dyslexia. So we've been using the Barton Reading and Spelling system. I've been using it for several years now. My oldest child, who's 17, is in book 8, and I actually just bought levels 9 and 10, so now I have all of them except for one. I sold it already. But anyway, so I have a game for you guys. This is a good idea to use during spring breaks or summer breaks, or just some time to make a lesson a little different. Since we homeschool, we kind of switch it up a little bit. But it could be an idea for tutors to use too, if they'd like to do that. So what I have here is called Barton Bingo, and just as a disclosure, this isn't an actual, like, Susan Barton didn't actually design this game. As far as I know, I just came up with this game. So I just thought I'd give it to you guys to see if you can use it for your kids. It helps my kids to remember their rules. So what I do is I have a bingo card like this one. This is what it looks like. Notice, put it on blue paper. So I took this card and put it on my board so that you can see it better. I hope that you can see it better anyway. So here's the idea. I have a stack of index cards, and on them, some of them I just put words on, and the others I put rules on. So what you do is when a rule is named, the student must find a word on their sheet, on their bingo card, using that rule. So, for example, if I say crybaby, the crybaby rule, that one comes up. They have to come over here and figure out which one is the crybaby rule. Since I have my daughter standing behind the camera, just voice to me, tell me which word is using the crybaby rule, hun?
Why?
Why is one of those that's using the crybaby rule. So then they would use whatever you want to have them mark off that piece. We used these little pieces from another game. I don't even know what this game is, but we just use those. You can use Cheerios or Lego people or whatever you want to use, beads. So then we would mark that off, and then we would continue the game. And the other one is when they have a word such as this. Sweetheart, what's this word?
Cricket.
Cricket. What rule is this word using?
Music trick. No. Picnic chicken basket?
Picnic chicken basket. Right there in the middle. So then she would find picnic chicken basket on here, which is here twice. So then she would have to strategize and figure out which way would be, give her a bingo. And she would put her marker there. And then we would just continue on that way until somebody had a bingo. And I do have several different cards. This card is also the same book, but it's not using, it's a different card, so that the siblings can play together if all the siblings are doing Barton Reading. So I have one for book 3. I split book 4 into 2 sections since there are so many rules in book 4. And then in book 5, it's a smaller book. I put that in one section. Book 6, I haven't made that one yet, but I was planning to, and I was going to also split that one into 2 sections as well, since it's such a large book. But that gives you the idea of a Barton Bingo that you can use for your kids. Let me show you how to make it now. So I just drew a bunch of lines on some blue paper, and then I copied that off, cut it in half. If you want to have a free space, you can. I believe I put a free space in book 3's because it was a smaller book and I didn't need all the space. On book 4, I needed all the spaces. So I get my paper there, and then I use if you print it off, which I highly advise that you print off the rules for each book. And I go through these with my kids almost every time we do a reading lesson, at least a section of them, at least like 5 or 6 of them, so they don't forget, because there's so many rules. And I'll even take out rules from past books so that they can keep their memory fresh. But these is what I used to look at and write down all the rules. So I wrote down all the rules on here, and then I also wrote down all the rules on an index card so that I was sure that it matched. And then I had to think of words that went with the rules. So that may seem a little trickier, but here's how I did it. So I also printed off the fluency drills. I have one profound dyslexic child, and I have another one that's severe. And my youngest, I'm not sure which ones, but he needs for sure the fluency drills. So I printed the fluency drills out, which do help a lot. If you don't have your fluency drills, get them. It's really a help. And in here, so let's see, these are books 4 and 5. So this first one is book 4. And on here, it'll tell you this is book 4, lesson 6. So these are all the words they would work on with that. And you could tell by looking at it, once you've been teaching them, that this is the cancel pencil and the Texas Blossom rules is what they're covering here. So if I needed a cancel pencil word or a Texas Blossom word, I can just go in here and find it to be able to write it on their bingo card, and then to also write it on the index cards. So that's how I found words. You can also find words by looking in the teacher book and in all the phrases, the words that they have to read, the examples that you use when you're teaching them. Those are all words that you can use to plug in here for them to remember their rules. So I think that's it for my Barton Bingo game. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe it can help you. It's another thing too, is if you have a tutor for your child, maybe you can see if they would be interested in making that for your child, or if you can use some of the sheets, because I think it could be a little tricky if you're not actually tutoring your child. It could be tricky to make the game, but maybe if the tutor can make the game, I don't know, you have to ask them. Also, I did do a little cheat sheet on the back here, and I have the answer on the back so that I don't have to sit there and think while the student is trying to think. Some of them can be more than one rule as well. So, all right, I hope that you've enjoyed the Barton Bingo game, and thank you for watching this video.